about OSGi configurations. In the last session, we had done the discussion with the OSGi component and service. Okay, why I would say OSGi configurations we are using. What is the need of OSGi configurations basically? Like normally, for example, if I want to take any any person details. One second. Okay. Is it visible for everyone?
Yes, sir.
OSGi configurations. Okay. In the OSGi component service itself, there we done the discussion with like the purpose of OSGi component, and one of the advantage with OSGi service and component is we can take the dynamic updates. We can take the dynamic updates. What does it mean by dynamic updates? Meaning we'll try to understand right now. In normal in core Java, how will you write any program? For example, if I want to write one program on some employee details, like employee name, employee ID, employee salary. So these are the details I want to write. Normally, how can I write? Public class and employee. Public class and employee, and here I will take the main method, and inside the main method I will write, right? So normally I would say employee ID equal to 100. Okay, and next thing is employee name equal to some name, any name. Okay, next third thing is employee salary. Okay, these values what I am doing here is these values are I am doing in hard coding. Are you guys clear with my point? Instead of doing hard coding, I can pass the values dynamically. So that's where OSGi configurations come into the picture. Are you guys clear with my point? So instead of passing the hard coding, we can pass the values dynamically. We can pass the values dynamically with the help of OSGi configurations. With the help of OSGi configurations, we can pass the values dynamically. So that is the advantage with the OSGi configurations. So the main purpose of the OSGi configuration is we can pass the values instead of doing the hard coding. Hard coding is not at all recommended. So compared to this one, for example, this is my I would say my ID, and for example, I'm telling normal example. For example, if I mention my salary or what, anything. So after some time, my salary might be changed. Then at the time, what should I do? I will come to my like source file. I need to change the changes, and I need to deploy into the dev environment. I would say testing, pre-prod, prod. So this is the it will go to again the HTLC process, right? So instead of it will take any small change also if you go with the source file, it might be take lot of time. So due to that, they has introduced the OSGi configurations concept. There we can pass the values dynamically. This is the advantage with the OSGi configurations, right? So I will show you I will take one example. So based on that, the same example I will take the backend like the employee configurations. I will take on class, and then I can write and then no, we'll try to understand that one. Simply where we have the annotations, right? The annotations are like R7 annotations. R7 annotations. We can say OSGi and OSGi service annotations also. Okay, R7 annotations. R7 annotations. We have at the rate component, next at the rate activate, next at the rate deactivate, and the third one at the rate modified, and I would say fourth one at the rate designate at the rate reference as well. Okay, at the rate reference. Next, at the rate object class definition. Object class, object class definition. Next one, next one, at the rate attribute definition. Attribute definition. Okay, in the last session, like we covered these four annotations, right? Component, activate, deactivate, modified, and difference. These annotations we covered in the last session. Okay, for dynamic configurations, we will use these three annotations: designate, object class definition, attribute definition. So combination of these all annotations, you can write the dynamic updates. You can take the data from the dynamic update. Okay, so these are the annotations, right? Now simply I will go to my the back end. Same under the services package, I am creating one component which is belong to one class which is belong to employee implementation. Okay, dot Java. This is the normal employee, right? This is the normal employee class. So here, this normal employee class I am converting into at the rate component. At the rate component. Okay, at the rate component. Okay, so I will like I need to pass the values dynamically. Due to that, I need to create one more class, that is I am saying simply I am going to my service package and new file, and you can select annotations. Annotation. Okay, I'm selecting this one. Here I am mentioning employee configuration. Employee configuration, right? Employee configuration dot Java. Okay, now I need to pass the values like the employee name and employee ID, employee secret, and some APIs I need to pass dynamically. Okay, instead of doing hard coding, I need to pass dynamically for giving the values. So these are like employee properties, right? Employee name, employee secret, employee ID. These all are employee properties. So if you want to make the employee properties as dynamically, we have to mention at the rate object class definition. At the rate attribute definition is the annotation which is used to make the person, I would say the particular properties, make it as the dynamically. Okay, in this case I am taking, I would say, employee configuration as the first one. I would like to take name. Name is emp name. Okay, emp name. So we have to mention with, internally it will be treated as a variable. Okay, now we have to annotate with at the rate attribute definition. Attribute attribute definition, we have to annotate with this one. What does it mean? What it will do? It will this one we are making as a dynamical configuration. Okay, similarly here we have to pass some attributes like I would say some name. Can mention some name. So here name, I will mention some name which is employee name. These are the some attributes, some information we are passing, like some default value. Default value is I am mentioning some name, and similarly I will pass some, I would say, description. Okay, description, here I am passing about employee information. Okay, next similarly I need to pass some type type is equal to, can mention um, attribute type dot, so which is in the format of string, right? So these are the attributes I have passed in the object definition annotation level. And simply I'm click on it, click on it, click on it. This is clear. Employee name. Okay, attribute definition. So I am passing some attributes. One is the name, second one is the default value, third one is the description, and fourth one is the type. Fourth one is the type. Next you can mention required equal to true also. You can mention required equal to true. Okay, similarly I can take employee id, employee secret, and the fourth one some APIs also I will take. So the API which will contains the employee information. Okay, you can assume like that, right? I'm copying this attribute from here to here, and then simply I'm coming here, I am pasting here. Here I will change employee ID, employee ID, right? So employee ID might it will consist of, I will consider as long. The data type is long. Okay. Here also I will here all the things I will change. This one as the ID, employee ID, and here also I will mention default value is 007. Okay. Next about employee ID information. About employee ID. Okay. Next instead of string I can mention with long. Okay, this is clear. Similarly I can write with client secret also. I can write with employee secret also. So here I will mention with employee secret, employee secret, employee secret. Okay, here also I will mention with employee secret, and then here the default values some secret with I'm mentioning some this one, and here also I will mention with some secret, employee secret, right? Okay, and then I will take one more API itself here. So here I will take which is in the form of employee or here I will take the name as REST API, REST API. Okay, the thing you can take anything here, the name. Okay, so here I will mention the name which is similar to, I will mention I would say, yeah, rest. So if you want to include the APIs like this also, so that's why I'm saying this APIs as example. And then here the default values, some website names. For example, in our company Search Software Solutions, right? Search software, okay, Search Software Solutions.com. Okay, and description about the company information. So in the API which will contains information about the company. Okay, so as of now is clear. I have taken four properties. One is the employee name, employee ID, employee secret, and REST API. REST API which will contains information of the company, which will contain the company information. This is clear. And this class I am making as the dynamic configurations. How will you make? How to annotate with object class definition. Okay, and inside object class definition I have to pass with the attributes like name. Here it is, I'm mentioning the same name, the employee configuration, the same name I am copying from here. and then I am coming to here, and then I am pasting here. Okay, next description also I am passing here. The description is also description about description about employee configurations. As of now is clear. So I use two annotations: attribute definition, object class definition. Attribute definition, which is used to make the properties as dynamically, make the properties as configuration, and object class definition, you can make this class as configuration. Okay, dynamic configurations. Okay, now simply what I am doing, I am coming to my employee IMPL, and this is the OSGi component, right? Here I am taking the variables, or I would say private string emp name, emp name, right? So I am taking emp name. Okay, next thing is private. Next, what the we have long employee id, right? Employee id, this one is employee name. Okay, next thing is private string employee secret. Next, private string some REST API, right? REST API. Okay, these are the four properties. So instead of doing hard coding, I am giving the values dynamically, and then those values I would say, I am reading those values with the help of these values. How will you read? I will show you programmatically. These are the four properties, and so every in the OSGi service and component, where we have the like events, you can listen the service life cycle events, right? So how will you read? For that purpose, you have to take the at the rate activate, deactivate, and modified annotation. So the same, the three I am taking those three. Like the first one is activate method, activate, and then this is the activate method. From here to here, this is the scope of this one. And here we need to take for tracking the class, we have to take an logger file, private static, next to final, and I would say logger. Whenever you are looking for the logger, so there you will might be getting the lot of options, right? Among those, how to select SLF4 channel, and then logger equal to logger dot logger factory, logger factory, logger factory dot get logger. Okay, here we have to mention the class name employee IMPL dot class, right? Okay, and then next thing is we have to take the with the methods. The methods is void. Next one is deactivate, and and the fourth method is void something modified. The method name is anything, and from here to here is the scope of the modified method. This is the normal methods. We have to annotate these methods with annotations. Those annotations are for activate method at the rate activate and for this method, for this deactivate method, we have to annotate with deactivate deactivate. For this one, we have annotate with at the rate modified at the rate modified. Okay, here I am passing some dummy message with the help of log. This already we done in the last session, right? Log dot info Here I am passing some dummy text, which is like the class name is employee IMPL. Employee, I would say employee IMPL. I would say activate method executed. Okay, the same dummy message I am copied from here, and then I will paste here, and then I will paste here also. Then I will change to this is deactivate method, right? This is the deactivate method, and this is the modified method. Modified method. Modified method. This is clear? Okay. Now I need to take one more method. I need to take one more method, that is the update method. This is custom method, and I need to take update method, and this is the scope of this is the scope of this is the scope of update method, right? Now if I want to here we have the configuration, right? If I want to include those configurations, I need to create the relation between this class to that configuration. How can I create? So for creating the relation, this is the OSGi component. We have to convert this OSGi component into a service, and then we can create the relation between this class and this class. Okay. So first we need to convert. This is as of now this is the OSGi component. We need to convert service service equal to your class name. Okay. Service equal to your class name. So I am copying this class name, and then I am pasting here, and then dot class. And next thing is we have to pass some annotations, that is enable equal to true, and next thing is immediate equal to true. Immediate equal to true. We have passed to these two attributes, which meaning when the bundle gets in the active, the component should also immediately should be in the active. So that's why we're passing the attributes, right? Okay. So this is the OSGi service, right? I need to create the relation between these two classes. How can I create? For that purpose, we have the annotation. That annotation is at the rate designator. Designate is the annotation which is used to create the relation between this service and configuration. So here we have to mention OCD equal to the class name we have to pass here. You can copy this name and simply you can come here and you can pass the name here. Okay, dot class. So with the help of this one, we are making the relation between two classes. Okay, now I need to use there we are giving some values are dynamically, right? So we need to read, we need to get those values. How will you get? So I am getting I would say OSGi framework, it will create the objects, right? So we need to call, we need to use. So that's why I am passing that class as a input to the method. Are you guys clear with my point? That class I am passing as a input to my update method. And this update method, I would say I'm taking as the configuration is the object. And the same thing I will pass to here also, and I will same thing I will pass to here also. Okay, so this is the parameter. So the entire the class as a parameter I am passing to the update method. Okay, now this is the variables, right? So as of now I haven't initialized any variables. I haven't initialized these variables. Now I am initializing with the parameters. What the parameters? So the parameters are here. Inside the configuration object, we have all the parameters. Configuration dot employee first name, and then I have to store this employee name in equal to this one. Which one? Employee name. So if I want to create the current class object, then we have to mention this dot, this dot, this dot employee name. Meaning this is the keyword which will represent the current class object. Okay. Next, similarly, you can do remaining as well. Configurations dot next employee ID, and you have to store this one in with the help of I would say this keyword, this dot employee ID. Similarly, you can do remaining as well. Okay. Employee configuration dot next third one employee secret, and then I would say we need to store this one with the employee secret. This dot, okay, and here also. Next thing is configurations dot REST API. So which is coming. You can select that one, and we can store this one in some. I would say this dot REST API. As of now is clear. What will the basically in this class we are giving the values dynamically. Those dynamically values I am passing as a parameter to this method. I'm initializing this instance variables. Okay. Now I want to see the values, whatever the dynamic values I am passing there. I need to see. How can I see? For that purpose, I need to take one logger file, and there I will mention. For example, simply I will take this logger.info, log.info, log.info. I need to take, I need to print. The which is similar to like sysout statement only. Okay, so simply I am taking the employee name. Okay, I am coming down. Employee name already there. You can mention with placeholder, and then you can annotate with comma. Next, employee ID, and you can mention with the placeholder. And uh, next thing is employee secret, and next REST API, REST API. Okay, this is the placeholder. Next thing is here we need to mention employee name, comma, next employee ID, comma, next employee secret, comma, REST API. Okay, so I can track the dynamic values. So this is the update method, right? So we have to call this update method inside the activate method. So update, and here you can the same input. This configuration input you can give there itself. Okay, I'm giving this, and then done. This is clear as of now. So the dynamic configurations, this is the method, the custom method I am using for initialize the instance variables only. I am initializing, and this method I am calling inside the activate method. I am calling inside the activate method. Okay. Now this is the employee class, and I am calling the progress, whatever the variables I am giving as the input to this method, and I am calling like the data is printing, the coming or not. I can track with this method. I can track this method. Okay, and you can mention in this one in modified also, modified. Okay, so this is the thing, and employee configurations, and then employee implementation. Okay, This is the custom method. You can take the method names, you can take anything. Okay. I'm saving this one, and then I'm saving this one. Where we have our project, right, practice code, and then you can open your CMD, and then you can deploy your entire project and install auto install single package. So after deployment is done, we have to check the bundle timestamp and then the component, OSGi component, and then I would say OSGi configuration. In the OSGi configuration itself, we have to see that employee configuration name itself. There you can give the dynamic values. Those values will print on the error dot logs. This is the scenario. Simply I am coming to, I would say, a local host am start.html. Tools, operations, web console, OSGi, next bundles. Here you can look for your jar file, control F, demo. If you double click on it, you will get the bundle timestamp. So August 07, the time is 5:31. So today only, okay? Huh? Mm. Uh, so if you want to create the separate error log, you can click on it, string, uh, and then where we have the log support. Here, add new logger. You can add new logger, and then you can mention logger name here. So you can see the above structure, and you can follow the same syntax. How the names are there. So this is the error dot log, right? So we are using this, right? You can mention instead of this one, you can mention any other name, and you can give the package path com.adobe.am guys demo dot services. You can give that one, and whatever the under the services, the package, how the like the logger files, every logs you can track here. Okay. As of now, bundle OSGi configurations, can go with the OSGi configurations. and look for employee configuration. So actually we are writing, I would say, employee configurations, right? You can look for control F. You can look for employee configurations. You can look for EMP employee configurations. This is the thing. I have to click on it. Whatever the variables we have defined in our class level, the same thing are we are getting: employee name, employee ID, employee secret, REST API. These are the default values. Values meaning, like before you are giving the values, it will provide some information like that. Okay, these are the default values. So now here I am giving some the names are like, here I will give other name, some 100 I am giving, and here also I am giving some client secret, also I am giving some other name. Okay, and here also I am, the same thing I am continuing. Okay, the same thing is I am continuing. Okay, the same thing I will continue. This is clear. I am giving the values dynamically and then save. Okay, when I am, if you click on it, the values will be stored, right? And then you can simply write now what you have to do. Go to your error.log am, and then author quick start logs. You can open this one with the Visual Studio. Now there I have mentioned my the employee name is Krishna, right? You can look with the name. The name is coming or not coming. You can pause. If you see Krishna, employee name is Krishna, employee ID is 100, employee secret is number. Next REST API is some website. Okay, so this is the thing we have to do. Whatever the values we have given the dynamically, those values we should display on the error.log files. Error.log files. Mm. This is today your assignment, and everybody please go through it, do the assignment and finish it.